I'm fine. How are you?
Okay, doing good. Actually, little bit of sicky. Okay, so Jagdish will connect at 8:20. So if Jagdish is connecting 8:20 in the sense by the time the class is going to be end. Sainath. So what is our last class? Amma. Okay, so let me open the Anaconda Navigator. Just launch the Jupyter Notebook. Mm-hmm. It's concept, right? It's fine. So as of now, we understood the data hiding, data encapsulation, that particular part we understood, right? Now, let's go for understanding the polymorphism. So polymorphism. So what is mean that polymorphism? So polymorphism in the sense, one thing it may have the many forms, right? Okay, one thing can do many forms. That means one particular task we can do in a different ways. That we are calling it say many forms, or one particular function it can do the multiple task. One method can perform the multiple tasks, multiple tasks. That we are calling it say polymorphism. Okay, so in this example, what you should do, we have to go for creating the class and followed by the class name, open parenthesis and closed parenthesis, and we can creating the same method. For example, task 1. Okay, task. So this is the task. It can be printing hello. Okay, task is printing hello. Let's just try to observe here actually. Okay, I would like to go for creating the same method, but this time which is printing the hi. Okay, I would like to go for okay, and so creating the same method, but this time which is printing the by. See, careful observe here. I just creating the method. I just creating one particular class. The class which is having the three functions, but these three functions are having the same functional name. But the first function is doing the hello, and second function is doing the hi, and third function is doing the by. Okay. For example, so here we are not sending any arguments. It has to go for executing this particular task. For example, if you are sending the argument, so to receive that particular argument, we can use the a equal to none. If you're not sending anything, it can be considered as the none. Okay. For example, we can try to give you the two arguments. A is none and B default is none. Okay. So try to observe here. I'm calling this same method without arguments. It has to go for executing this one. If I'm calling the same task, but if I'm sending only one argument, it has to go for executing this particular task. I'm calling the same function and I'm sending the two arguments from the function call or method call. It has to go for executing this one. So when it is executed these three methods in a different situation, then it's a polymorphism. Let me create a object with help of the class. I'm just creating the one particular object. After I'm creating the object dot, and we are calling the task method, and here I'm sending the 10 comma 20. So here I'm sending the two arguments, right? When I am sending the two arguments from these three functions, which is the function can be received the two arguments? This method, right? It has to go for executing this method. Okay. For example, you are calling the same method. This time you're sending only one argument. So when you're calling the same function but you're sending only one argument, that particular situation, it can receive only one argument, right? So this is the corresponding method. It has to be executed. Okay. So for example, you're not sending any arguments. If you're not sending any arguments, the first method, it can be executed. Okay. So if this can be happened, then that means it's a polymorphism will happen. But unfortunately, polymorphism, which is not supported by the Python programming language. So because of that one, even you're calling the three times in the three different arguments, so which is executing only the last one, the latest one. Okay. So these two are the method overriding or overwriting. It happened overwriting. Okay. So polymorphism is not supported in Python. You might be thinking, right, why? So because of, now why? So here Python is supporting the supports, okay, method method overwriting. Okay, method overwriting. So because of the method overwriting, so this is the method which is overwriting by this particular method, and this method is overwriting by this particular method. So the latest one is the last one. It can be overwriting by the rest of the things. So simply you can say that method overloading is not supporting. Overloading in the sense, if you are sending the two arguments, method can be overloaded and it can be go for the last one. If you are sending only one, then method overloading can be supported and it will be go for the corresponding method. If you are not sending any argument, then it will be choose this particular thing. How it was choosing? Because of the overloading. But unfortunately, Method overloading concept is also not there. Python is not supporting the method overloading. Method overloading. Okay. So method overloading is not supporting because of that one. So even you're creating the three different functions in a different scenarios, but it can be considering the latest one. I hope you clear my point. Pooja, Disha,
Yes.
done. Okay. So from the OOPS concepts, the last feature is which is inheritance. Inheritance. Inheritance in the sense one method properties can be acquiring to the another method. One class properties, one method properties are accessing or acquired by another class. Okay. So let me create the two classes, two different classes. So to creating the class, we can use the class, right? So the first class, you can call it's a base class. So usually base class is the having the a parent class. You can say that it's a parent class. Okay. So this is having some properties. I have some properties. Properties means it nothing else. It's just a methods and a variables only. I have some properties. For example, task one is my base class information or base class method. Okay. So you just print it as task is I am from base class. M from base class. Okay. So this is the method you can mention. For example, I would like to go for creating the another independent class. I would like to go for creating the another independent class. Okay. So this may class name is, for example, derived class. So derived a class. Okay. So derived class or derived class, whatever it is. So here, which is having the task 2. So what exactly this function where it is, it's from the derived class, right? So that you can just mention that I am from the derived class. Okay. See, if I am creating the one object with the help of the derived class or second class, it cannot able to access the base class properties. Okay. We can execute only task 1 only. We cannot execute the task 2. Sorry, we can execute only task 2. We cannot execute the task 1 because of the task one method you implemented inside of the base class. So the task one implemented inside of the base class. So here the base class and derivative class, there is no relationship, so that we are getting the error here. So only derivative class related method has executed because of the object is created with reference of the derivative class. But my intention is, just a minute guys. See, here a previous program we don't have any kind of relation, right? So that we are unable to executing the task one. But we can access the properties from the one class to another class. You just give the input, the base class, as you just give the input for the derivative class. This situation, it can access the properties from the derivative class, base class as well. Simply the base class name, you just give the input for the or argument for the derivative class. Then that particular situation, whatever the information we have it can be simply copy and pasting in a derivative class itself. Okay, it is simple inheritance. This kind of example is simple inheritance. Simple inheritance. Second one is multi-level. So multi-level in the sense, so this is the we have different kind of examples are there, multi-level and multiple inheritance, something different examples are there. Multi-level, multi-level inheritance in the sense, multi-level inheritance in the sense. So this is my derived class 1. Okay, and for example you would like to go for creating the another another class. Okay, so this is my derived class 2. See, this is the derived class 1 is my child class for the my derived class 2. This particular situation, if I'm calling the, if I'm creating the object with help of the derived class 2, it may accessing the properties from the both base class 1 and derived class this is derived class and this is derived class 2, right? Just try to observe here, this is my base class, this is my parent class, and which is this properties we are acquiring to another class, this is level 1. So now this is the derived class which is having the base class properties and itself. Now I am giving this particular thing as input for the another derived class, which means whatever the properties we have in derived class 2 and whatever the properties we have in derived class 1 and whatever the properties we have in base class 1, that all which is inherited to one particular class, that is my derived class here. So this is my multi-level inheritance. This is the concept of the multi-level inheritance. Okay, now multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance in the sense, I have the base class 1. Okay, and I have the base class 2. I have the two base classes are there. So base class 1 and base class 2. Okay, so base class 1 having the one property and base class 2 is having the another property, and I would like to go for creating the derived class but with reference of the base class 1 and base class 2. This is multiple inheritance. So multiple inheritance in the sense, the derived class it may have the two parents. The derived class it may have the two parents, so that we are calling it say multiple inheritance. So even this also we are getting output, and this also we are getting output. Okay, but here it's a multi-level, multi-level, and it's a multiple. Is there any question regarding about simple inheritance and multi-level inheritance and multiple inheritance? Is there any questions?
No, sir.
See, so this is my parent 1. This is my parent 2. This properties we are acquiring to here, and this properties independently we are acquiring to here, and this is the derived class which is acquiring the both the class properties. So that this is 3 tasks are done without any issue. But here this is the multiple inheritance. That's example for the multiple inheritance. Now multi-level in the sense, this is level 1. Okay, first we are acquiring the properties from the here to here, and then we are accessing the properties from here to here. So this is level 1, this is level 2. So this is a multi-level inheritance. Clear? Yep. So guys, this is about object oriented programming language, and so for understanding the object oriented programming language, this is a concepts is fair enough. Okay, and regular expression and database communication is topics are left from the Python programming language, and I think so you all are enrolled for the data science classes only, right? From tomorrow onwards, with the same time, I would like to talk about SQL classes. Same time, this time only. So instead of the Python, so from tomorrow onwards, we would like to talk SQL concepts or else
Okay.
statistics. How many people are enrolled for Python and SQL here? Only Python
Me,
and SQL.
me,
Me, sir.
Dish.
Only Python. Disha, you only for Python SQL or else data science?
Python and SQL.
Okay, okay. You enroll for Python and SQL, not for the data science, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what about others?
Python and SQL.
So Pooja, Jagadish.
Data analytics.
So data analytics means Python, SQL, and statistics.
Okay.
Okay. So no of the candidates from the data science, right?
Sir,
Mm.
I'm from data.
Okay, you're from data science. Okay, fine. Okay, guys, let's meet tomorrow for continuation of the SQL classes. Bye. Take care. See you.